our Teen Advisory Board.
I give thanks for all the people who take the time to empathize with my situation. My name is Ruby Ray Agent. I am 19 years old, and I have something called PANDAS, an acronym for Pediatric Autoimmune Neurological Disorder associated with strep, or the more sciencey term, which is up there and unpronounceable to me. I have a large family, and I started with these arm twitches when I was 16 from pneumonia, walking pneumonia from the mycoplasma. The antibodies started attacking the mycoplasma, but somehow crossed the blood-brain barrier, got confused, and started going after the basal ganglia instead, thus causing me to twitch and stuff. It's fun! No, it's not. But tomorrow I will be celebrating my 17th week of straight twitching. This has been my worst exasperation yet. And a lot of people get really, really nervous around me. And it is a little uncomfortable because there's nothing I can really do to hide it, to hide these bizarre tics and twitches. It's just so out in the open, and then I get like the people that just sort of skirt around the issue, and they don't really talk to me, or they avoid eye contact, or they look up suddenly if I gasp, and then quickly look away because they're so super embarrassed that, oh my goodness, I don't know how to talk to this person. But the thing is, people often assume that that people like me or anyone else get tired of hearing, how do you do that? It's with that little sympathetic look of how do you live your life like this? And personally for me, I never get tired of hearing that. It's just something that I admire the fact that people are brave enough to come up to me and to ask me, how do you live your life like this? And I tell them all the fun little things I do, how I make the twitches work for me, because I'm awesome, and I'm lazy, and if I'm forced to move, they should do something. And I remember one thing that really stood out to me was my pediatrician, Dr. Schulman, actually took the time out one day while I was twitching really bad to try and mimic my twitches for just 2 minutes, just to see what it might feel like getting hit in my shoes. And that meant more to me than I think anyone would ever know. So, I understand that some people might want to try and shy away, and how people who do move like me, or who have anything that might stand out, would not want to talk about it. But I think it's always worth sticking your neck out there just once and asking, how do you do it? Because you know what? It is an amazing thing. And I impress myself sometimes too. Thank you.
I'm so lucky that I got to meet Ruby when Ruby was inpatient here at Maimonides, because I got to spend time with Ruby and her mom, and I got to be very inspirationalized by them. So I really appreciate everything that you have to say, Ruby. And Ruby's affirmation is, I choose an optimistic outlook, which, as you can see, really fits the situation very well.